can a woman have multiple men? I'm like, if she wants, sure. Not for me.
Yeah, not for me. That's exactly.
If that's what you want, go for it. They don't know woman wants that. Another thing that people get triggered with me about is polygamy, right?
Yeah. So can we talk about this real quick?
Yeah.
So you are polygynous. You've said poly before, and I think a lot of people, because when you say poly, they think what you're saying is multiple men, multiple women. No. You and I have the same thing. Yeah. I'm polygynous and you're polygynous, meaning we date multiple women.
Right.
Either in your case, you have multiple women that might be with you. In my case, it is me and my girlfriend, and we see women together. So that's what we want to make.
That's still polygyny.
Yeah, it's polygyny. So a lot of people, we don't have our own flag, by the way. Polyamory has a flag in the LGBT parades. That's polygyny, apparently one alpha male fucking several women doesn't get their own flag.
I love this question. So they be like, so can a woman have multiple men? I'm like, if she wants, sure. Not for me.
Yeah, not for me. That's exactly.
If that's what you want, go for it. They don't know woman wants that.
Yeah.
They're just talking the talk. You know, they want me to be like, oh, well, no, it's not fair. Like, no, it's fair. If a woman can pull that off, go do it. I don't want no parts of that.
Exactly.
And no man that you would want wants any parts of that. I
am not a misogynist or a bigot because I don't want to be with a woman who's like that.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And I'm also not a misogynist because I don't want to be with a woman I'm not physically attracted to because of whatever the thing is. Because that doesn't make a woman a misandrist because she chooses to be with men because they're over 6 feet tall. It's funny how women really, really have an issue with men being short, but when men have a problem with a woman being overweight, all of a sudden there's this massive double standard that happens. And it's really problematic. And I think that is one of the things that, you know, the Myron and Fresh's content exposes.
Right.
What happens though is that some people in the community take it an extra mile, but they're willing to do $100 super chats, and they're willing to give you over 1 million subs. You know, like you have 1 million, you have 1.5 million, but they got 1 million quick.
Yeah,
and so did Pearl Davis. They got 1 million quick. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's different for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. It's a whole new whole new world. Here's the thing with Fresh and Fit. All right, so Rollo, when he did a video about me after my appearance on Fresh and Fit, and I felt it was a slight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I haven't seen it. What was it exactly?
Mike Rashid, Blue Pill Alpha.
Okay.
So, and look, I respect Rollo. I think he's a very intelligent guy. I respect what he's done. I didn't like that thing right there.
Of course.
I was like, have a conversation with me first, because here's the thing. I felt like it was telling people to be dismissive of me because I always had it made. I don't get it. I don't understand. And that's not the case. You know what I mean? So, talking about, oh, he's always been attractive, like that's a weird thing to talk about. Like, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's like women, I don't think that women give a shit about how attractive a guy is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, cause I got homies that are like, you got her? All right, cool. And I've been seeing that for years. Broke, ugly dudes getting bad bitches. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just game and confidence, right? So it was like, nah, bro, talk to me before, because look, I wasn't used to just people. It wasn't just him. It was a lot of people making it look like my videos, but it was like kind of shitting on me, but kind of being nice. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm cool with you shitting on me. Let me, you know what it is when people do these reaction videos. It's like a documentary. Like people think documentaries is so real. Like, nah, it's a movie. It's a movie of whatever that person wanted you to.
And it's biased.
Right. Yeah. So I'm just one of those down the middle fair people, like on all the way across the board. So I like to have real, like high level conversations. So I'm like, this is not high level, and it's kind of painting me out to be kind of like you just can't take his advice because he doesn't get it. Yeah. Now, there's one thing I didn't understand, that I didn't know, I wasn't aware of, the number of men that don't get pussy.
Yeah, so there is a GSS survey that came out, and it basically stated at the time it was 28% of men having zero sexual partners under the age of 30. And that number was 18% 10 years prior. So it had gone up 10%. Right. That 8 years from 2008 to 2018 were the 8 years that the iPhone finally had the Facebook app on it. So they related it to social media and stuff. Destiny came on, he was saying, no, it's because of housing prices. And I'm like, no, dude, it's not because of housing prices. It's because the phone made men what it did is it made a small group of men have incredible access to lots of women, and a large group of men have no access to any women. So that was the first issue. The second study showed that 26% of men under the age of 30 were virgins. Like they hadn't had sex with anyone. And that was another crazy number. And when you explain that to women, though, we'll have a show here, they'll have 10 girls on here, and they've all dated 6'3" male strippers, and they've all fucked like, male VIP hosts and stuff like that. And they're like, there's no way. All these guys are getting laid all the time. And then you take them to Walmart.
Your guys are getting
laid.
Yeah.
You take them to Walmart and you look at the cashier and you're like, who's fucking him? And she's like, oh, I forgot that was a man also. That's also a man.
Yeah. No, it's real. It's real. Because look, I've always had an abundance, at every stage of my life. So it's funny because when I was in college, so I stayed at the dorm Manzanita at first, and it was like too crazy. So I got an apartment. One of my boys came and stayed with me for like a week. We was hanging out, and just different girl at the house every day, right? And about Friday, he was like, "Bro, how do you do this?" I'm like, "Do what? Like, you don't do this?"
Yeah.
I thought it was normal. You know what I'm saying? So, but here's the thing. That's not good though. I'm gonna tell you why. Cause that was a large part of my young adulthood of me just getting good at getting girls. Yeah. Putting a lot of energy in something like that.
Do you think your upbringing in Brooklyn and your almost like stoicism when it came to things like life and death helped you when it dealing with girls?
Yeah, I think it, yeah.
Because when we're young, we're so overly reactive, and like the women can see when you're 22 and you're trying to do anything to get pussy. But if you're stoic, like you've been through some, Bilzerian has a great quote. He says, when you get out of college, he advises for some guys, go in the military for 2 years. That way, when you get out, now you're 21 years old, you got a little bit of money, and now you're a freshman in college. All the other male freshmen you're going up against, they can't fuck with you. You're a man. Yeah. And so that might be the difference there.
Yeah. So I grew up fast. For one, a sport, boxing. It was a hard sport.
Yeah.
You're alone. You were disciplined. I got up and ran every morning at 6 a.m. Nobody did that. By the time I got to school, I'm wide awoke. Everybody's still like groggy. Just little things like that. I always had somewhat of an advantage because of boxing.
For sure, yeah.
And then Brooklyn, like at the time that I grew up, it was just, Brooklyn, New York City as a whole, is overpopulated.
Yeah.
At the time, very limited resources. You had to be special to get seen, heard, or get your fair share. You had to fight hard. You had to be having like internal endurance to keep going, right? There's so many people that I know that were probably some of the best athletes in the world that just didn't make it.
Yeah.
They're in prison or whatever, right? So, all of that shit helped me because look, I got dealt with somewhat of a shitty hand from the outset, but it was a great hand because look, pressure produces diamonds or bust pipes, right? So all the pressure that I had, it didn't crush me, So it made me a diamond. It gave me so much perspective, so much wisdom, and so much like fortitude. Nothing bothers me, Silly things bother me, like just things I don't understand. Like, how could you think like this, right? But nothing bothers me because everything that happens to me, I attract it to me. I cause it to happen. Destiny is your decisions.
Yeah.
So, and my decisions, I love myself, so I make proper decisions for myself, right? And the times that I've made improper decisions, I ate it. I'm like, I shouldn't have did that shit. I fucked up. All right, let me sit this one out.
Yeah.
Let me deal with it. Come on, I lean into my punishment because I need to deal with it. Let's go. I don't want no surprises. So, when it comes to women, it's the same. Here's the thing. I've created the reality that I want.
Yeah.
I created an ideal life for me. So I come and go as I please. I can have who I want. And look, this is interesting because this is what I used to tell Fresh and Fit audience. When I didn't have my shit together, I stayed in my lane.
Yeah.
I wasn't butthurt because I wasn't trying to holler at girls out of my league. They were out of my league.
So you weren't upset about that, whereas some of these other guys are like, because they're getting rejected, they're sitting there on these message boards screaming at women.
That's not a logical position to have.
Correct.
You know that you can't, where are you going to take her to eat at?
Yeah.
Like it's funny because there's a guy one time, this little loser, he used to, big bro, help me with this, help me with that. But he tried to shoot at like my baby mom. I'm like, what can you do with her? Like,
yeah.
Okay, let's say you fucked her, then what?
Yeah.
Like you can't take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? I look at life different. So I think the fact that I am a Muslim, my relationship and how I think men's relationship with women is a little bit different.
Sure.
Right? Even a young dude, it's like you get a woman or women and you take care of them. You protect them, you provide, you lead them, you guide them, all of that shit. It's a great responsibility, but the reward is, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't look at it like, oh, I'm gonna just fuck her. Just even in my form of romance or polygyny, I don't have random hookups.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
Yeah, I just don't want to do that. I've done it before, but it's just, I don't like it. I feel like I'm giving this woman a great time and she just goes away. Like, nah, it's an investment of my time, my energy. Everything's an investment.
Yeah.
I want to see the fruits of that.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things, because you mentioned this earlier, is that I think there's a level of freedom that you have when you were saying when I resonate with people, that's just on accident. But I think one of the reasons why so many people resonate with you is because you're free. Like you are free in the way, like the true way that people are free, meaning financially free. You do what it is that you want to do. You're free when it comes to women or whatever your opinions on political things may be. You're still completely free. And I felt like a lot of people resonated with Andrew for the same reason, is because he came off with this certain level of freedom. You can lock me up. I still got 400 million stashed somewhere you don't know about. And the same thing with Bilzerian. Bilzerian talked about money does not buy you these things. Money allows you to not deal with things you don't want to deal with. If there's a problem, just pay it off and get it out of my way.
You can never lock me up.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You can't lock me up.
Yeah.